Got a book right back here called, ooh, dang it. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to Content Talks. I'm Austin Savage, and it is good to have you here. Today we are talking about pro tips for the person doing it all. If all of marketing and content creation and all of those things is on your shoulders, I get it. For the last 3 years, I managed the marketing and operations for a national nonprofit, and a huge amount, probably 90 to 95% of the content creation and management was on my shoulders, and it is a lot of work. Same thing for this company now. I'm making a lot of the videos, I'm editing a lot of the videos, I'm creating content for clients. Like, it is a lot of content creation that's on my shoulders. So I wanted to share a few tips today, if that's you, and if you kind of resonate with that, on how I manage it all. Now, I wish I could give you some like secret hack that's just gonna make everything easier and make all the problems go away, but unfortunately that does not exist. And if I told you it did, I would be lying to you, and it would just be clickbait to get you to click on this video. So that's not real. It doesn't exist, but there are little things, little systems, and perspectives that you can put into place that will make it all feel more manageable. So here are 5 tips if you're the person doing it all. Number 1 is make sure you love what you do. I know this seems like it doesn't have anything to do with content creation, content management, organization, all that stuff, but it is really, really important. There are always going to be aspects of our jobs that frustrate us or aren't in our sweet spot, but this is just something that's really that's just been a focus for me recently in my own life. But just make sure that you love what you do, that creating content in the first place, that marketing and talking about it, that is something that you're excited about because you want more people to get connected, and because you actually believe in the product, the service, or the perspective that you are sharing. Make sure you love what you do. Number 2, organization is literally the backbone of success. This is something that I've been reminded of recently, and I'm so grateful for the organizational tools out there that you should definitely be using. If you don't have an organizational tool right now, you need to have one. What I use for my own company is Asana. Asana is basically a digital task list that helps me organize projects and make sure that I never forget something, that I understand what I have to do each day, and that I can designate priorities on tasks. Asana is what I use. Trello is one that a couple of my clients use. And it is a great tool as well. But when it comes down to it, if you are not organized, if you don't have a system, it is going to feel like chaos constantly. You'll feel like you're just constantly pulling things out of thin air. It won't be clear on what your next steps are or what makes up a certain task, and it just gets overwhelming. And so if you want to simplify things and stay organized, make sure you start using an organizational tool. It literally is my brain, and it's how I'm able to produce content right now personally for myself and 7 to 8 clients all at once, consistently each month, without constantly feeling overwhelmed. Number 3, simplify. If you can, make things as simple as possible. I'm a firm believer that you should be in as many places as you possibly can online that makes sense for your brand. But also, when it's just you, you have to be realistic, because you have the day-to-day operations, the actual tasks that you have to get done in addition to the marketing. So, don't try to have a YouTube channel and a podcast and a blog and an intense social presence all at once if that's not actually something that you can manage. Pick and choose what is going to be the priorities for you, what priority platforms there are, so that you are managing less at a higher quality than more at a lower quality. Number 4, prioritize always. When I was in an internship in college, I had to read a book called Essentialism, which is a great book if you haven't read it. I don't live as much as I could as an essentialist like he talks about in the book, but I did learn an essential principle from it, and that is to focus on one thing that you want to move forward each day. My internship director at the time taught me that every single day I should have one primary project that I am trying to push forward that day. And so if everything is on your shoulders, I get it. You don't have one thing that you're going to be focusing on each day, but you should know before you start the day what the priorities are. What things that are on your task list absolutely have to get done, and what things you'd like to see done, so that you know what your focus is and what deserves the most of your attention. Prioritize always, because you'll always have more things trying to pull for your attention and your time than you can actually handle. And number 5, this is something that I believe in firmly, but you have to balance the task list of today with long-term thinking. When it comes to so much being on your shoulders, honestly, the first thing to go usually is marketing. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're producing, you are doing all of these different things, and you're trying to run a business or run an organization while you're trying to talk about it and market it, and it just gets crazy. And so it's easy for something like marketing or content development to get pushed down that list. But you always have to be thinking about that balance. Like, yes, there are other things that I could be doing that will feel like it's going to be more effective today. But I also have to be constantly preparing myself for the long term and the future by creating content and building trust. But it also goes in the other direction. There are going to be days where you had really hoped to create content and you've just got to produce for something else for the business or for the organization. And you know what? That's okay. I've had a couple weeks already with this company where I've missed some videos and I'm like, dang it. I wish that I hadn't have done that, but we're just going to move forward. And things like that happen because at the end of the day, I need to produce for the clients that are paying me. And it's the same thing for you. Again, whether you just have a personal brand, whether you are a nonprofit organization, whether you're a business, you've always got to be balancing what feels priority today in the short term and how you're preparing yourself for the long term. Listen, it can feel a little crazy when you are doing everything on your own. Again, I totally understand it. I've done it many, many times in my life and I'm still doing it. But if you are intentional about how you structure your day, about how you stay organized and where you put your focus, it really is possible to do it well. If you have any questions of anything about managing a lot of content when you're the person doing it all, throw them in the comments. I would love to talk with you about it because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I didn't put in this video, but I hope it was helpful. So if this video was helpful, it'd be awesome if you would help me out by just hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and ringing the little bell so that you never miss a future video that we put out. I miss some weeks, but I try to put out 2 videos every single week to help you on your content marketing journey. So I will see you next time.